he intimated that there were probably 2.25% interest rate hikes in the future for the remainder of the year.
Hey there, everyone. Dave Barlow here with Sell for 1% Realtors, and we have our guest of the week, Mr. Richard Saccone with Equitable Mortgage. And Rich, we're talking interest rates, what's happening in the market. Looks like maybe we're getting a little bit of a break on interest rates here over the past week or two. What do you think?
Well, we haven't gone up as might have been feared with the Fed's hawkish statements they made last week, but we haven't gone down either. So it's kind of it's just a static situation. Jerome Powell spoke yesterday before Congress, and he intimated that there were probably 2.25% interest rate hikes in the future for the remainder of the year. He expressed concern about inflation still, that it's still a very persistent problem that they're concerned about. The Fed's mandate is to keep inflation at 2% or less. And currently, depending on which report you read, the inflation rate is somewhere in the 4.5% to 5% range. So they're still persistent with fighting inflation. And there doesn't seem to be any time in the future that we can point to right now that says that they're going to start to lower interest rates, and they're going to continue to be vigilant about fighting it. So rates right now on the mortgage, somewhere in the last few weeks we talked, again, depending on your circumstances, mid to high sixes. It could go into the sevens with poor credit scores or lesser credit scores, and depending on your loan to value. So pretty much we're in that high 6 range, and we could be in the 7 range. First-time home buyers do still get a break. The lower loan buyers that are out there, there's programs where you can be in the lower 6s. So that's the reason why first-time home buyers should explore it a little bit more. They are getting a little bit of a break per the agencies on these mortgages for the 100,000, 150 to 200,000 range. You're going to get a break on your interest rate compared to somebody with a 500,000 mortgage.
Okay. So with good credit, which I think, are you seeing people come in with bad credit wanting to try to buy a house?
Not really, no. Occasionally, someone let some blemishes in the past, but when we talk about good credit or bad credit, there's times where people will have a lower credit score, maybe a 680 or even a 665 type credit score, and I look at their credit and they really have never been late on anything in their entire life, but because of the algorithm that scores credit and their overall profile, they sometimes have a little bit of a challenge. I had a young lady who married, and she had like 665 credit, and her husband had 800 credit, and he had a credit card of $32,000 limit with only about $1,000. He just used it and paid it off every month. So I'm able to look at those kind of situations and see if I can rescore someone's credit. And in her case, what we did is we added her authorized user on that card. So then that started to report on her credit. That helped. And then she had 4 or 5 credit cards, all with like $5,000 limit and balances of $2,500 to $3,000. She went in and paid all those off. They had to pay those credit cards down to a zero balance. And her credit scores went up from 665 to 737. So, that's a service that I offer. Now, there's some people that there's nothing I can do. If you've had late payments and you just, that's just something that's in your history, it just needs to recede into the past further. You need to allow time to heal that wound. If you're on time now and you continue to be on time, eventually those things will become less and less important. But sometimes there's tricks that we can play because people have lower credit scores for no obvious reason other than maybe you lie a balance on a credit card or something like that.
And that's all stuff that you kind of take a look at. And then, like you say,
Right.
make your suggestions of do this.
Correct.
That process from adding her as an authorized user and paying off the credit cards and stuff like that, from that point to the time that you rescored her and got the 737 credit score, about how long was that period of time?
Well, I told her what she needed to do, and it took her about 5 or 6 days to get everything in order, pay it all down, and then I need documentation. I need to see your statement that says, or your history of your account. Like sometimes a statement hasn't cut yet, but I need to see the history that the balance is now zero. And then I take that documentation to go to the credit bureau. By the time I get the documentation, it typically is not more than 4 or 5 days to rescore a credit report.
No, okay. So it can happen pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you went from a 670 to a 737 in about 10, 14 days?
Yes, that is correct.
Huh, that's cool. Well,
Yeah.
the world of technology, you can do things so quick anymore.
Yeah.
So, all right, Richard.
The takeaway, Dave, is for anybody out there listening that if you have been using your credit cards and you've got a big savings account, but you've got credit cards over 20% of the allowable limit being used on a monthly basis, reporting at the credit bureau, you need to get those balances paid down because that is going to help you to get better credit scores. You don't want to be carrying, you've got a Chase card, for instance, with 5,000 limit, you owe $4,500, and you got, $25,000 in your savings account. Take some of that money, get that credit card paid down under $1,000, and your credit report your scores will go up considerably by doing that.
So 20% of the available credit, you want to be less than 20%? Is that what
you want to be? Less than that. Ideally, you want to be, or you want to be, as low as possible. But over 20% is going to start to get you into a mode where the algorithm going to score you a little bit less for that reason. So keep your balances low on a credit card.
All right, great tips and hints to clean up your credit and get you to where you want to be, which is owning the American dream and owning your own home. All right, Rich, thank you, sir. Appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to talking to you here soon.
Thanks for having me, Dave.